Blessed day. My name is Chrisanda Allen, and we're in the Sankofa Science Lab. Today I have something planned special for you in the lab. In celebration of Valentine's Day and Akoma Day, which is a celebration of Black love for the self, for the family, for the community. We are going to be electroplating copper onto a heart-shaped pendant. Yes, onto a heart-shaped pendant. Absolutely. I'm super excited. In the last lab, we learned about the process of electrolysis, where we were able to use electricity to split water into hydrogen and oxygen gas. In this lab, we're going to be applying that learning to electroplate copper onto that heart-shaped pendant. So first, to start off, I'm going to go through some of the items that you'll need for this lab. You will need a beaker that's over 100 milliliters. You need a graduated cylinder. You will need distilled water, copper sulfate. You will need two leads, two wires. The best are the ones with the alligator clip. Yes. You will need a copper electrode and a glass rod or a rod that is not metal, like a wooden stick to stir. All right. You will also need a scale to measure out 10 grams of copper sulfate. You can purchase copper sulfate at your local hardware stores such as Home Depot or Lowe's. Yes, absolutely. You will also need a 9-volt battery and something to electroplate on. All right. We're going to be using a heart-shaped pendant. I'm super excited, you guys. So those are about all the materials you will need for this lab, other than a digital scale or triple beam balance to measure out the 10 grams of copper sulfate. So now that we've gone through the items that you'll need for the lab, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to simply make our copper sulfate solution by pouring our 100 milliliters of distilled water. You want distilled water because you want a pure solution. You don't want any minerals that will contaminate your solution. I've already pre-measured out 10 grams of copper sulfate. So we're going to pour that right in. Now I'm starting off with a cold water solution. It will take a little bit longer to dissolve, but it will get there. And in fact, I'm gonna give it a good little swirl for right now. It's best done in an Erlenmeyer flask. But we're gonna let that dissolve. It's getting there, as you can see. Yes, so now I'm going to stir it up. To speed up the process of dissolving, it would be best for you to start off with a warm solution. Heat it up just for a little bit, otherwise you'll be stirring quite a while like me. No worries, it's dissolving. Let's take a closer look, it's dissolving. Yes, now that we have completely dissolved the copper sulfate in the distilled water, we have a pure aqueous solution. So now we are going to go over a little bit of vocabulary words. We have ion, electrolyte, anode, cathode, electrode, and electricity. Absolutely. I challenge you all on your own to go and define these words. Absolutely. I will be using them frequently in our lab today. There is a middle school and a high school version lab that I will post as well. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna up the challenge in this lab today. We're not only going to electroplate copper onto the heart-shaped pendant, but we're going to observe a change in mass. So we have recorded the mass of the heart-shaped pendant, which is 3.1 grams. And we have also determined the mass of the copper electrode to be 33.4 grams. So I want you guys to take a few seconds and make a hypothesis on what you think the change in mass will be. Which one of these will decrease and which one of these will increase in mass? Absolutely. Post your comments, post your answers in the comment section. So now we're going to continue with our lab. We're going to, I have already placed the ends of the wires onto the 9-volt battery. So you want to make sure that your black side is on the negative and your red side is on the positive. I'm going to place that back on here. All right, so yes, and the other wire. Now, the item that you're going to be electroplating is going to take the negative side, okay? And the part, the copper that we're going to place onto the heart-shaped pendant is going to go on the positive side, okay? So now that we've got everything properly positioned, we're gonna go ahead and start the process. Now make sure when you're doing this lab with your Lightbender's physical science kit, which you can purchase at my website at sankofascience.com, make sure that the copper electrode and the object that you're electroplating do not touch. Otherwise, you will not get a proper plating. So now that everything's connected, let's go ahead and place these in the solution. All right. Now, we won't be able to see much happening right now. We're gonna let this electrolytic cell run for about 30 minutes. After about 30 minutes, you will see a change. I don't wanna get away right now, but we're gonna see a change in mass and we're gonna see a change in color. So meet me back here in about 30 minutes. I'm gonna fast forward that for you guys and we'll begin to see a change. I'm gonna dip this back in here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Just making sure that they don't touch. I'll see you in just a few. Welcome back, y'all. It's been about 30 minutes since the electroplating process began. After every 10-minute increments, we took out the copper electrode and the heart-shaped pendant and we measured its mass. Remember, we were expecting a change in mass where we weren't quite sure. But this is the data of our lab. What do you notice? What do you notice here? There was not any change in the mass of the heart-shaped pendant. And there was an insignificant, but a change nevertheless, of the copper electrode. So yes, I want you guys to write in your analysis of the data in the comments section. Yes, absolutely. So now let's take a look at the plating of our heart-shaped pendant. I think we did a pretty good, decent job of plating the copper on the heart-shaped pendant. Here on the right, we have the copper-plated heart, and we have an unplated heart. I would suggest when you're plating your heart that you all move your alligator clip so that that the plating will appear on the tip where you place the alligator clip. So yes, scholars, yes, scientists, I hope that you enjoyed today's lab. Catch us on the next lab as we explore more physics and chemistry. Peace and bless.